Behind the Attic Wall by Sylvia Cassedy, Chapter 36. The bulky things went into the duffel bag first: shoes, coats, sweaters, skirts. Then the flat things: underwear, socks, pajamas, shirts. On top of these, smoothed out and folded into even thirds, the purple party dress, its velvet ribbon laid across the bodice in a soft loop. Finally, the odds and ends: deck of cards, pen, comb and brush, toothbrush, sliver of soap wrapped in wax paper, the lilac blossom dried now and powdery, the light pole. Quickly Maggie opened and shut the drawers of the dresser and of the little desk. They were all empty. Everything was empty. The closet was empty. The floor under the bed was empty. The window seat was empty. The sink was empty. The room was as bare as it had been the day when, 9 months earlier, she had first set foot in it. Barer. When she had first arrived, there had been layers of underwear in the dresser, a row of dresses on the closet pole, and, on the window seat, a doll whose pretty rubber face she had pushed in with her thumb. She crossed over to the sink and looked in the mirror at the face that, in less than a day, the new family would see for the first time. What would she look like to them? White cheeks, damp hair, sharp chin, pale lips, skin and bones again. Maybe the new family wouldn't like her. Maybe they would send her somewhere else. "I'm going on a plane," she told the backwoods girls who had just filed into the room and now stood around her bed. "A plane? What's a plane?" they all asked. "A plane is this big, special machine that you go inside and it flies in the air." "Flies in the air? Oh, how wonderful! Like a bird?" "Yes, but it's as big as a boat, and you go inside it and it takes you far away." "Oh, how wonderful! Can we go too?" "No, of course not. You're too dumb and poor. They wouldn't even let you on. But the backwoods girls would probably keep her company wherever she went, especially now. "Well, maybe," she said. "Maybe I can get you on." "Maggie!" Aunt Harriet from downstairs. In a few minutes it would be time to leave for the train that would take her to the city with the airport. Aunt Harriet and Aunt Lillian would drive her to the station, following the same route she and Uncle Morris had traveled the day she arrived, only this time in reverse, with the huge stone building that looked like a prison growing smaller and smaller behind her back, and the bare countryside filling gradually with stones and houses. She wondered if she would throw up again. There was still room in the top of the duffel bag for something else. She looked around the empty room and then stood without moving for a long moment. She could, if she wanted, take the dolls, fly upstairs and grab Miss Christabel and Timothy, John, and Juniper, lay them on top of the soap and the toothbrush, pull the cord tight around the neck of the duffel bag, covering their white china faces, and carry them all wherever she was going. She could set them up on the bed in her new room, far away, and whisper to them whenever she was alone. "Remember the roses, Miss Christabel?" she could say. "Mercy, yes," she would answer for Miss Christabel, and she would move Timothy John's head up and down as he remembered too. A stray sock was caught in the sheet at the foot of the bed, and she dropped it into the duffel bag. No, she wouldn't take the dolls. She would leave them just as they were, forever, seated opposite each other at the table, each on the verge of speaking, with Juniper between them, ready at any moment to sip from the saucer in his basket. She would take that scene with her, holding it in her mind as carefully as if it were balanced on a tea tray, and create from it a haunting dream. Some day, 50 years from now, 100, some other girl, some other right one, would arrive at Adelphi Hills and make her way reluctantly along the front walk to the building she would mistake for a prison. A small red head would appear, or seem to appear, from some distant window, but she would remember it only later when, now in the parlor, now in the hall, faint scrapings, tiny whispers, stray words would nudge at her ear and make her pause over her book. In time there would be voices, a man's, a woman's, that only she could hear, and they would speak of fires and washtubs, of a dog. One day they would call her name. "Emma!" they would cry out, "or Rose, come, it is time." And she would fly through the house, opening doors, shutting them, until she found at last the hidden panel in the closet leading to the attic stairs. Then, carefully at first, stepping and pausing, she would pull herself up, stopping in front of the massive furniture in its white draperies, inching her way across the attic floor, shrinking at the sound, from where? Of a shattering cup, reaching the wardrobe, stopping, listening, and bursting in all at once on the startling scene of two china dolls at a tea table, turning their painted smiles at her and crying, she's here at last." And that's the end of Chapter 36.